In this video, we're sharing our take on the must-play Xbox Game Pass games of March 2025. From hidden gems to blockbuster hits, there's something for everyone. Of course, you might have your own favorites, and that's totally okay. Let us know in the comments which games you think deserve a spot. Now let's dive in. For aliens and strategy games lovers, Aliens Dark Descent is a great pick. It's a survival horror RTS where you control a squad, similar to XCOM but with more focus on stealth and smart decision making. Instead of just shooting everything, you manage resources, stay quiet and keep your team from panicking. You lead your squad from the USS Otago, healing soldiers, researching upgrades and preparing for battle. Missions stay exciting with different classes and goals, but progress can feel slow. The Hive awareness system makes enemies smarter, so being too aggressive is risky. The biggest problem is the bugs. Some are minor, but others can ruin missions and force restarts. Still, if you can handle that, Aliens Dark Descent is one of the best Aliens games ever, packed with tension and strategy. Battlefield 5 is a solid choice if you enjoy big multiplayer battles. The game focuses on teamwork, with smooth and exciting gunfights that make every match feel intense. The new attrition system also adds strategy by making players rely more on their squad. However, the game had a rough start. Some features felt unfinished and certain maps outside of Conquest mode weren't well balanced. The single-player campaign tells emotional war stories with stunning visuals, but the missions focus more on stealth than large-scale battles. Weak enemy AI also makes parts of it feel repetitive. Despite its flaws, Battlefield 5 has improved over time, with free content and updates. In Citizen Sleeper 2, Starward Vector, you play as a sleeper, an android who escaped with a broken body, no memory, and a bounty on your head. To survive, you need a ship, a crew, and contracts to make money. Your ship is old but can be fixed and upgraded. Your first crew member, Seraphine, is a good pilot, but you'll need more people for tough jobs. You'll take on risky missions like exploring wrecked ships, stealing valuable items, or fixing stations. The game uses dice to decide your luck and strategy. This time you can travel freely across the Starward Belt and make choices that will change your future. For the King 2 is a turn-based strategy game where you explore, battle enemies and make important choices. It offers 5 campaigns, each with different challenges. The game's board game style mechanics are easy to learn and you can adjust the difficulty to match your play style. Combat has new strategy elements, making battles more interesting. However, the game's menus can be confusing, making it hard to find important information. Multiplayer is fun, but bugs sometimes cause issues like desynchronization. Visually, For the King 2 improves on the first game while keeping its fantasy style. The mix of strategy and randomness keeps the gameplay exciting. While technical issues and a clunky interface hold it back, it's still a fun adventure. If you enjoy racing games, Grid Legends is a great pick for this month. It improves on the 2019 game with more tracks, new race types and a fun story mode called Driven to Glory. This mode is like a racing documentary inspired by Drive to Survive. Some characters don't feel like real races, but the story keeps things interesting. You'll get new city tracks, stadium truck races and mixed car events for more variety. While the game still lacks deep customization, the multiplayer is smooth, letting you jump into races quickly. Grid Legends may not be a huge upgrade, but it delivers fast and fun racing that's easy to enjoy, whether solo or online. Legend of Mana is a classic RPG that looks better than ever. This remastered version has beautiful hand-drawn backgrounds that mix well with the old-school pixel art. The team at M2, known for great game remakes, handled this version, and it shows. The game doesn't give much direction, so you'll have to explore on your own or use a guide. The combat is fun and smooth, but the story isn't the most exciting part. However, the music has been fully remastered and you can switch between the new version and the original soundtrack. Even though the game can feel confusing at times, its stunning art and fun gameplay make it a great pick. Lords of the Fallen is a top-tier Souls-like that delivers smooth combat, rewarding boss fights, and a dual reel system that adds depth to exploration. The Umbral Lamp is a standout feature, letting you shift into an eerie alternate dimension to uncover secrets and gain combat advantages. Boss battles are another highlight, featuring fair yet challenging mechanics that reward skillful play. The game also improves spellcasting, making magic more fluid and viable. However, later levels can feel frustrating due to punishing enemy placements, and the Umbral Seed's checkpoint system feels more like an obstacle than a helpful mechanic. Moonlighter is a unique mix of roguelite dungeon crawling and shopkeeping simulation. You play as Will, an adventurer managing his late father's shop while diving into dangerous randomized dungeons for loot. Combat is smooth, offering a variety of weapons and a satisfying dodge mechanic. But it's not just about fighting. You'll also need to manage inventory, price your goods wisely, and upgrade the town to unlock better gear. The early game can feel slow with a bit of grind, but as new dungeons, upgrades, and mechanics unfold, the experience becomes highly rewarding. Balancing risk and reward is key. Push deeper into dungeons for rare loot, but don't get too greedy or you might lose everything. Despite minor bugs and balance issues, Moonlighter stands out with its charming world, fluid animations, and addictive gameplay. Mortal Kombat 11 is a cool fighting game. It slows down the action a bit compared to the last game, making fights more about smart moves and good timing instead of just rushing in. New features like offensive and defensive meters, fatal blows, and crushing blows make battles more exciting. The story mode is about 6 hours long and full of crazy time travel moments and fun character interaction. You can also customize your fighters, but unlocking items in the crypt can take a while. Nine Souls by Red Candle Games is a 2D Metroidvania game with combat inspired by Sekiro. The combat is all about timing your parries. If you do it right, you can charge up and unleash powerful talismans that deal big damage. The boss fights are tough, but beating them feels amazing. You play as Yi, a cat samurai who isn't exactly a hero. Yi explores a strange and dangerous world filled with enemies, puzzles, and secrets. The story also has a lot of heart, especially in Yi's bond with Sean Shuan, a lovable human child. The game can feel a bit too wordy at times, and some of the early areas might seem familiar, but with its fun combat, cool mechanics, and a great story, Nine Souls is one of the best games of 2024. If you like Metroidvanias, you should check it out. Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is a fast, action-packed remake in Unreal Engine 5. Ryu Hayabusa fights with speed and power, cutting through enemies with deadly attacks. The combat is brutal. When you slice off enemy limbs, they become more dangerous but easier to finish. The graphics look stunning, making battles feel intense. However, the game has some issues. Some boss fights, like Volf, are exciting, while others, like the Water Dragon, feel slow. The camera can be frustrating, especially in small spaces. Also, this version is more like Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 than the original Xbox 360 game, which some fans might not like. Despite this, the game is full of stylish action, great level design, and rewarding combat. Quantum Break is a unique game that blends exciting gameplay with live-action episodes. You play as Jack Joyce, a hero with time-bending powers gained after a lab accident. These abilities let you teleport, freeze enemies, and control time in thrilling ways. The game's story is the real highlight, full of time travel, twists, and choices that affect the live-action episodes and in-game events. While these decisions don't change the ending much, they add replay value and make the experience more personal. The live-action episodes are well produced with great acting that even makes the villains relatable. However, streaming the episodes can sometimes cause playback issues, and there are occasional graphics glitches in the game. Despite these minor flaws, Quantum Break offers about 10 hours of stylish combat, a gripping story, and a movie-like experience that's unforgettable. It's a must-play for fans of story-driven games. If you want a fast and exciting shooter, Rage 2 is a solid pick. It takes inspiration from Doom, delivering high-speed combat with powerful weapons and fun abilities like Shatter and Overdrive. The action feels great, with aggressive enemies and upgrades that make fights even more intense. However, the game has some weak points. The open world feels empty and the missions start to feel repetitive since most of them involve clearing out enemies. The story isn't very engaging and the characters are forgettable. Plus, the upgrade menus can feel a bit overwhelming at times. Despite these issues, Rage 2 is still a great choice if you love fast-paced combat and chaotic gunfights. It may not be deep, but it delivers plenty of action-packed fun. Solar Ash takes you into a colorful but lonely world inside a giant black hole. You play as Ray, a void runner trying to save her planet before it's lost forever. The best part of the game is how you move. You can skate across huge areas, jump between floating platforms, and glide along rails. The world looks stunning, with bright colors and a surreal atmosphere. Combat is simple, with quick attacks, but fighting groups of enemies can feel clunky. The boss fights are epic, though some can be frustrating with long phases. Even with a few small issues, Solar Ash is a fast, fun, and visually striking game with an engaging story. If you enjoy smooth movement and exploring unique worlds, this is a game for you. Next, we have Spyro Reignited Trilogy, a great remake of the classic Spyro games. The first 3 adventures have been rebuilt with better graphics, smoother controls, and fun new animations, while keeping the original gameplay we all love. The levels look brighter and more detailed, making the world feel more alive. Spyro moves just like before, but feels smoother to control. You can also switch between the classic and new soundtrack, which is a nice touch for fans. The game is a bit easier than the original, but new features like better camera controls and a tool to track collectibles make it more fun to play. There are some small issues like long loading times, but they don't ruin the experience. If you love platformers or just want a fun and colorful game to play, Spyro Reignited Trilogy is a great choice. If you enjoy games that test your patience and planning, SnowRunner is a great pick. This isn't about speed, it's about battling rough terrain. From deep mud in Michigan to icy roads in Alaska, every delivery is a challenge. The trucks feel heavy and realistic, so you must plan your route, manage fuel, and drive carefully. Mud, water, and steep hills will slow you down, making every small success feel rewarding. Missions involve delivering cargo, rescuing vehicles, and more, but the objective system can sometimes be unclear. Smaller scout vehicles can also be tricky to control. Co-op mode makes things easier, letting you take on tough jobs with friends. While SnowRunner is slow-paced, it offers a deep and satisfying experience. If you like realistic driving games that reward smart planning and persistence, this is one to try. Next up is Wo Long Fallen Dynasty. It is an action-packed RPG set in a dark fantasy version of China's 3 kingdoms during the fall of the Han Dynasty in 184 AD. You play as a nameless militia soldier fighting for survival while discovering your true power. The fast-paced combat features smooth swordplay inspired by Chinese martial arts, with clear enemy attack patterns that reward players for learning them. There are many weapons, each with unique special moves, offering various playstyle options. The follower system lets you recruit AI companions who level up with you, making tough battles easier. The deflection system adds strategic depth by allowing you to deflect damage like fire or poison. The virtue system lets you unlock powerful spells based on how you distribute your stats, offering flexibility. However, the game has some downsides such as limited endgame content, a lackluster story, occasional FPS drops, and audio issues. Despite these flaws, the game's combat and systems provide an enjoyable experience. Zombie Army 4. Dead War is an action-packed shooter set in Europe where you and up to 3 friends fight off hordes of zombies following Zombie Hitler's defeat. The undead have risen again, stronger than ever, and players battle across locations like Italy to uncover a sinister plot threatening humanity. The co-op mode is the game's highlight, with exciting missions involving zombie waves, creepy canals, and giant boss battles. As you progress, you unlock weapon upgrades to customize your gear for more effective zombie slaying. However, the game has some downsides. The gameplay can get repetitive, and some content, including missions and weapons, is locked behind paid DLCs, which can be frustrating. The voice acting for the main characters occasionally feels flat, and there are glitches, like issues with item pickups near walls or stairs. Despite these problems, Zombie Army 4 is still a fun experience, especially for co-op players who enjoy fighting the undead together. And that's our list of the best Xbox Game Pass games you should play in 2025. Of course, this is just our take, and there are plenty of other great games out there. If we missed one of your favorites, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your picks. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next one. Thanks for watching, and happy gaming!